Hi guys, Sergeant here with Saaj Cars Tech. Welcome to episode 2 of season 2. Today we're going to discuss upcoming cars for this year. I did one last year and I want to do one again this year. Today I have Adarsh with me. How's it going, Adarsh?
Hey, I'm doing well. How are you?
Good. So, just a thing for the listeners. Others is not into cars as much as I am. He used to be really, really into cars. He changed his focus when he got into college. He's studying to become an optometrist. So now, while he's focusing on that, he has not really focused on the car industry. So I want to discuss with him the upcoming cars. I have a screen in front of me and I'm going to show him pictures of the cars that we're going to discuss. Alright? So the first one is this. This is a Hummer EV.
Alright.
So Hummer electric vehicle. This is not gasoline. This is not diesel. Okay, it's a full electric vehicle. And it's not going to be coming out from the company as a Hummer brand. Hummer is actually the model. It's going to come out as a GMC. All right. You can reserve one now. All right. Starting price is around $80,000 for the EV2 trim, and that will be available spring of 2024. But the first trim available will be the Hummer EV Edition 1, available fall 2021. So it's not that far away, that this car, right? Since it's the first edition, get your hands on it first. 112,000, But imagine, you wait 112,000, you pay 112,000, you get it now, or you'll get it 3 years from now and you pay about 80,000, right? But you get a lot more for the 112,000. You get the 3 motors, more than 350 miles of range, 1,000 horsepower with 0 to 60 in 3 seconds.
Okay.
All right. And now here's the thing: the Edition 1, you can't have it because the reservations are already full.
Oh.
All right. There's gonna be 2 other trims besides the EV2 and the EV Edition 1. There's the EV2X and the EV3X. All right. They're all available for reservation right now. And what this is going to be a serious Cybertruck competitor. Okay, so Adarsh, I'm showing you a picture of the Hummer EV right now.
Right.
What is your first thought?
Man, the first thing that grabs me is those headlights. Like, the Hummer goes right across the front grille.
Yep.
And, like, the headlights almost, I don't even see it. Like,
so those are almost in like a silhouette of an H shape if you look at it.
oh, yeah.
Yeah, you see that?
Yeah.
All right. I'm going to show you another picture. So here's the thing. This picture has no roof, right?
Yeah.
The roof panels you can take them off.
Oh.
Okay. And they store in the front trunk.
No
the
way.
frunk. Yeah.
Okay.
Right.
Ample storage.
Yeah. And that's because this is a full on electric vehicle.
Right.
So it doesn't have an engine, so
Right.
it has a lot more room. I mean, if you looked at this from far away, if no one knew that this was an electric vehicle, someone might think it's a gas vehicle based on the size of the hood.
Coming from a person who doesn't, like, has stopped paying attention to that, like, as from a perspective of someone who's probably looking into these cars now, yeah, it does look like it does come with an engine. Like, you couldn't tell from apart. It's looking really good cosmetically. Like, they did a really good job to make it look like it's not electric, even though it is. Again, those headlights are something different. I kind of like it. It's different. I'd be fascinated to see how that actually looks in person.
Yeah, I'm curious too. It's they're putting the same sort of bed the tailgate as they do in their other trucks. So it can like go in 11 different ways. You can configure it so you could actually fit stuff in there. But there's a lot of room in this vehicle. That's the inside.
Oh,
Yep.
wow.
Yeah,
Okay.
that's a giant screen. that you
That's
see
a
that.
huge screen.
Yep.
Damn, I like that there's like a lot of space for someone who's probably of who's tall, who's looking to have enough space, leg space, maybe go for a long haul. Possibly this would be a lot of comfort. Again, on the flip side, because it's so it's electric, I don't know exactly how much this will run, you know.
Well, it's 350 miles of range around. So if you count right now, most electric cars, and you'll see it while we go through our list, around 300 miles is the average. And if you look at my wife's RAV4, she gets around 300 miles on one tank of gas.
All right.
The only thing is that to fill up a tank of gas takes me 5 minutes.
There you go.
But the technology is starting to catch up. It's not there yet, but it's starting to catch up for the fast charging.
Right.
You know,
Yeah.
but I think the Hummer EV is going to be a serious vehicle. I don't really expect to see hundreds of them in my
Streets.
in our neighborhood
Yeah.
this fall. Just it's $112,000. You know, not people. You know, not everyone's just gonna be like, "Hey, I'm gonna buy this."
Yeah.
You know, but we'll see.
Mm-hmm.
So this is the next car. All right. So the next car that I'm showing him on the screen here is a Ford Bronco. All right. This is starting at $28,500 for the base 2-door model, and around $35,000 for the base 4-door. Currently, the highest trim is the first edition trim, and that's starting at $57,000 for the 2-door and $62,000 for the 4-door. We should start seeing them on the road in the summer of this year, and this is going to be a serious competitor for the Jeep Wrangler. And the reason why I say that is because this has quite a bit of off-road capabilities. What do you think? What's your first thought when you see this?
First impression, it gives me like a nice rugged look. Like it like with where it's positioned over the rocks in the dirt, it makes me feel like this is something you would have fun with driving in these types of climates. If you're in the mountains, for example, in those types of ranges, I feel like you wouldn't have any troubles, and it'd be a good time to just let it rip and just enjoy what the power can provide you with it over there.
So the other thing with this car is you can take off the doors.
Nice.
Just similar to the Jeep Wrangler.
Yeah.
But if you look at the doors, do you see something? There's the rear view mirrors there. Right? The side mirrors. You see?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I know it's blending in with the seat color there, but it's the whole point of that is that when you can actually drive it on the road, and now you're still meeting the legal aspects of the safety.
Yes.
You have you can actually see people behind you when you look in your mirror, and you're not relying on that just that one mirror in the middle.
Right.
So
I like it. A Jeep is maintaining its consistency with the doorless car that I've seen on a few Jeep models, and I kind of like that.
Yeah.
And again, this is something I could see that you could switch on a nice hot summer day, pull out those doors, go for a nice long drive, enjoy that warm summer breeze, and just be free. I kind of like that.
I think for the price point of this car, even with the base model, I think it's really fairly priced. We're probably going to see quite a bit of them, but at the same time, it still has competition. It still has a Jeep Wrangler, and Jeep Wrangler is not going to just
Not going to back down there.
Well, exactly, and actually, Jeep is coming out with an electric model. It's called the 4xe.
Interesting.
So I don't have a picture of that here. I'll probably put the picture in the video that I put, but they're coming out with that. So, and this is not electric though.
Right, it's not.
So, and the thing that Ford is doing that Jeep has done is a lot of accessories, right? So Jeep has Mopar. They have all these different accessories. You know, on the grille, headlights, the back, the canopy, everything, right? So this picture is actually that little white portion that you see there. That's actually built into the car, and you could actually put that little piece on top, and that's a GoPro mount.
Really?
Yep.
Okay, so this is perfect for the type of build it has. Like I mentioned, like if you're in the mountains or if you're in like the sand dune type of environment, you get to hook up that GoPro and get really nice views while you're enjoying the moment yourself while driving.
Yeah, I mean, there's other things that you can put here too. You know, whatever meters and gizmos you want to put.
Sure.
But one thing this is common for people that off road. They put this type of mechanism on their dashboard. But this one comes with the built-in.
Yeah.
Right now, Ford has the Bronco, and they also have the Bronco Sport. Right, this is a smaller vehicle.
Oh, okay.
All right, so this is a baby version of the Ford Bronco. It's currently on sale, and my opinion is that this is going to be a very successful vehicle. And the reason why I say that is because, one, it's fairly priced. It's much cheaper. It's the base price is not too far off, just a couple grand, but fully loaded, you know, the first edition is like 38,000.
Oh,
right, compared to the 62,000
right
for the Ford Bronco. But this is a much smaller vehicle. It has, you know, smaller tires, smaller everything. You know, with the Ford Bronco, you can actually buy the Ford Bronco with this configuration, like these big tires.
Okay.
All right. So you're buying it like as an off-road spec from Ford.
I'd like,
you know, you don't have to go aftermarket to get everything. The Ford Bronco Sport, I just think, you know, if you had like two cars that you wanted to just, you know, hey, here's my daily driver and here's the thing that I take out on the weekends, these two would be probably nice.
Right.
You know, what do you think about this? I mean, I don't have a picture here that shows them side to side, but this is much smaller than the Ford Bronco.
I don't know. For the Sport, this one doesn't look as sporty to me. Like, I do get the idea of compactness and the smaller wheels and whatnot, but I kind of like the look of the previous one. That one looks way more. In fact, that looks a bit more sportier to me. Just the trims, the wheels. You know, that one just captures That captures my eyes quickly. So
this is going to be for a separate podcast, but we're going to discuss all the vehicles that have their original model and then their sport model.
Right.
And their sport model is actually smaller and almost looks like it's cheaper and everything. Like right now you have the Mitsubishi what's it? The Mitsubishi no, not the SUV. I forget. It's not. Is it probably the Outlander? And then you have the Nissan Rogue. You have the Nissan Rogue and the Nissan Rogue Sport. All right. If you look at the Nissan Rogue Sport, it's like dinky small, right? So we're going to discuss that in a separate podcast. Basically, to kind of figure out beyond what the manufacturers have in their head on selling those two trims with the same name. Because if I told you this was a Bronco and I gave this a different name, then you'd probably say, hey, you know, okay.
Yeah.
But this Bronco, the Bronco Sport actually falls in with close to the pricing of the Ford Escape.
Okay.
All right. Yeah. So the Ford Escape is competitor to the CR-V, the RAV4, the Tucson. So this actually just falls in right next to it. You have the Family Go vehicle, which is a Escape, you know, and then you have this off-road capable one. And this one's just a tad more expensive, but you get quite a bit.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I want to stick with Ford, right?
Whoa.
What do you think of that?
I don't know. This one kind of gives me Tesla vibes. Like,
Okay.
right off the bat.
So what is that badge that you see in the middle?
Mustang.
Okay. So this is the Mustang Mach E. All right.
Okay.
So what we discussed this last year on the podcast during upcoming 2020 vehicles. This is starting at around $43,000, and you can, after you get the federal tax credits, it's around, like, you can get roughly, a little bit over 35,000. This is a serious competitor for Tesla. All right, it's a mainstream brand that has been out for years, using an iconic name, the Mustang. All right, that everyone is familiar with, moving forward with the times. All right, with the electric vehicles. All right, so 0 to 60 is at 3.5 seconds. That's with the GT trim. That's a bit more expensive. You get more power, approximately 300 miles of range.
Okay.
But this car, I think, is going to do really well, especially with the price point that it's at, and the name that they're using. They're using Mustang. I just don't think that they can really go wrong with this. Let me show you another picture. So that's the inside.
Whoa.
Yeah. So one thing that you notice is the screen in the middle.
Yeah.
Right. So Teslas have screens in the middle.
Yep.
Right. One thing that Tesla doesn't have is a screen behind the steering wheel.
Right.
All right. I think the X has that, but not all Teslas have it. So this one, where people are more familiar with the Ford brand, can go and say, okay, you know what? I kind of know what I'm expecting. Right. But then they're also moving on with the times, where the electric vehicles are kind of becoming a bit more mainstream. Ford is a mainstream brand. They used Mustang as the name for this car because Mustang is a prominent name when it comes to Ford.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
So I mean, it seems like anytime Ford uses a horse, like Bronco, Mustang, they do pretty well.
Yeah.
And that's the front trunk again. They don't have an engine, a gas or a diesel or nothing. It's just electrical motors at the drivetrain. So they have room in the front. What do you think of this overall? If you came out looking at this pretty shocked.
Yeah, I mean, like, if I didn't know what badge was on this car, okay, I would be thinking something along the realms of Tesla. But having Mustang on it, it's kind of, I kind of like it, because if you consider it overall, okay, cosmetically, it looks really nice. Price point, okay, I like that too. Like, when you're taking account of both the superficial and the financial aspects of it, it definitely grabs my attention. And then knowing what like the Mustang lineup and all the predecessors, it definitely gets me interested. I want to know more about this car and exactly how it will run.
Yeah, so there's different options for electric motors. You have different power, more horsepower, less horsepower, different ranges. Like I said, the GT is going to give you 0 to 63.5 seconds. But I think this is going to be a serious competitor for Tesla. There's some people that still hesitate with Tesla, and I think this is going to be a serious competition. So, speaking of Tesla, remember this one?
I remember that.
What is this? Cybertruck.
Yes, I've seen it at one of the events that Elon had.
Yes.
And it was like
You're talking about the window where...
Yes, exactly.
Okay, so this is going to be a true competitor for the Hummer EV.
Okay.
All right. You can actually still pre-order these online.
Oh,
all right.
really?
$100. That's all you need to pay.
Interesting.
To pre-order. The starting price is much less than the Hummer EV, though.
Really?
Yeah, but the Hummer EV does not have a single motor trim. This one actually has a single motor trim, which makes it a rear-wheel drive. Right? So you have 3 types of spec here. You have a single motor as a rear-wheel drive, 2 motors to make it all-wheel drive, and then you have 3 motors with all-wheel drive, right? So if you do the 3 motors all-wheel drive, it's supposed to be pretty fast, like 14,000 pounds of towing, 10,000 pounds if you get the dual.
No.
And right now Tesla's website says production near late 2021. So assuming the pricing stays around the same, you could probably see quite a bit of these, because the price point is not that far off from some Ford F-150 like expensive trucks. You know, there are some trucks there. The only problem is that these electric trucks, you know, the charging really has to be fast.
Yeah.
You know, I come in the construction world, right? So that's where I live, right? All in construction. And I don't think I would ever see any of my superintendents or any of my colleagues ever drive an electric truck unless there was some sort of charging that can happen. You know, I'm sure when you load the vehicle with a bunch of weight, you know, you're trying to tow something,
Yes.
it's probably going to lower the range,
Of course.
you know, but we just got to see. I think the technology is coming around. Just I want to see if the Tesla actually looks exactly like this when it comes out.
That's true.
What do you think? You think it's gonna look like this?
You know, anything is possible. I feel like it could definitely come out like this, and the reason why I say that is because it is so different. Like, he's really capturing, like, he's going off the charts. This is not like kind of a sleek-ish looking truck. You would say it's more of the geometric, boxy side, right? So it's definitely, if he does come out with this, it's definitely going to grab some views and a lot of head turns at the same time. And knowing that it could be a 4-wheel, how'd you mention?
All-wheel drive.
All-wheel drive. That brings up, opens up the possibility for people to drive this in different weather conditions at the same time.
Well, you know, the common thing is that most trucks already come. You know, most trucks that are sold are all-wheel drive.
Okay.
You know, and they are set to rear-wheel drive. You know, 2-wheel drive, unless they need the all-wheel drive, which is whether it's in bad weather or they're off-roading or they need it because they're towing, whatever it is. You know, but I just wanted to point out the different motors, because the Hummer comes with a minimum of 2 motors minimum. Yes, and this one actually has an option for just 1, and I think that's what keeps the cost down.
Okay, I see what you're saying there.
You know what I mean? I mean, we'll see. You know, let's give it end of the year. You know,
Yeah.
we just started 2021, but now, you know, this is another electric vehicle.
Right.
All right, this is the BMW i4. This is a concept. All right. And the other one is the iX. All right. This one's more production ready than the i4, but they're probably going to come out this year. I have a feeling that they're going to come out. The iX is probably going to come out end of this year, and they'll probably just name it a 2022 model.
Okay.
But it's, you know, pricing is going to be around $75,000. I think that's just because it's electric vehicle.
Yeah.
The technology that's in it. Some of the things that I saw on the concepts, the materials look really nice. I just hope that carries over to the production model. The thing that I don't like with these is the new BMW grille.
The honeycomb, honey.
That's just
look.
the big nostrils.
Now that you mentioned, that's all I see.
Yeah, I don't know. I feel like they could have done better.
Yeah.
You know, I know what they're trying to do. You know, it's every single time they come out with a new car and they have a bigger grill, and everyone's like, "Oh, it's a bigger grill," and then people grow into it. You know.
Yeah.
So I think it's just one of those things. Now another car that I want to talk about is Genesis. Do you know what Genesis is?
Yeah.
Okay, so Genesis has a lineup of sedans right now.
Right. Yeah.
Right, you have the G70, G80, G90, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
And now they're getting into the SUV market.
Okay.
So this is the GV70 and this is the GV80.
Uh huh.
All right, and I think these are going to be pretty serious.
Oh.
So these cars are going to be a test for Genesis as a brand.
Mm-hmm.
All right, they entered the premium market, and as you know, they came in with the Hyundai Genesis, and then they slowly came in with their own just Genesis models,
Yeah.
and they've been doing pretty well. But with the craze of crossovers and SUVs above sedans, these may be more common than their sedan counterparts.
Mm-hmm.
I think these cars should be looked into seriously when shopping for a car, and when you consider one of their competitors, because it's much cheaper than the competitor. And I mean, when you buy BMW, Audi, Mercedes, how long do you actually keep it? You don't buy one of those for the long run, right? This you probably can, but does it have the same sort of feeling? Same, probably not, but it's close. It's, well, I don't want to say close, but it's, they're getting there. They're the appeal for these cars. I think it's just getting better and better every year. Hyundai and Genesis have come a long way from where they were.
Yeah. I mean, I've personally went to the Genesis showrooms in one of the malls, and I took a look at those sedans and like all the models you've listed there, and they're beautiful. Oh man, from both exteriorly and interiorly, and like you mentioned, like those price points, they are also like a game changer at the same time. And just sitting in those cars, we had the option for test driving, but at that time it was just booked out. But we were ready to, like, me and my buddies, we were ready to go for a test drive because these cars look beautiful. And it has the nice sporty looks, and having to see this now make its, like, crossover that you mentioned here, I'm really interested to see it because, like you mentioned, like, it has that luxurious sporty look to it. And it definitely makes me want to, like, check this out for a spin and just see how it can go. Because, like you said, like, Mercedes and the BMWs, these cars, they're there, but you don't see a lot of these Genesis models. And then once they do come out, I could see that they could become very popular at the same time.
Yeah. So I wonder if these are going to become mainstream. There's like the thing is, BMW 3 Series is one of the examples that I have, right? Everyone always has a BMW 3 Series. That's all I see quite often, right? Now, they're really good cars, right? But whenever I try to get a car, I try to get one that you don't see many on the road.
Yeah.
Just because I want that type of exclusive feel,
Yeah.
But I don't know if Genesis is going to be the exclusive or if they're going to become a mainstream.
Right.
You know what I mean? I don't know. I think the GV70 has a very slick look. The GV80 has a pretty business vibe.
Yes, I would say that.
Yeah.
I think GV70 has more of that sporty appeal to possibly younger the younger audience.
Well, this is a 5-seater, and I believe this is a 7-seater.
Okay.
So that's why one's much smaller, one's much bigger.
Yeah.
But again, yeah, it's kind of they're fully different vehicles. The GV80 is definitely going to cost quite more than the GV70. GV80, I believe, is already out. GV70 should be coming out soon.
Okay.
Yeah. Now, these, Genesis, Hyundai, what do you drive?
A Hyundai.
Hyundai Tucson, right?
I drive Hyundai Tucson.
All right. What
Okay.
do you think of that?
That's a Tucson, hey?
Yeah, this is the next fully redesigned Tucson. This is the next generation, yeah.
They did a lot of modifications. Like, instantly looking at the front grill, the headlights, that looks completely different. The wheels, the rims. I mean, they have this, I want to say, like, honeycomb geometric-ish vibe that I'm getting from them.
Almost looks like it has, like, these little slots of blades.
Yeah, yeah, it's like the ones you would use to trim your beard almost. But hey,
So I think this is going to be one of those cars that uh, people are going to buy. With the, it's going to be an option for them. It's definitely going to be an option for them. Hyundai Tucson has been doing really well against RAV4s and CRVs. Yeah, they haven't outsold them, but they are there when it comes to sales. They're not losing money. This is not a car where it's like, oh, you're getting an incredible deal because they're trying to get rid of them. No, these cars are on the lot. They're still being sold, right? So I think this is going to be a really serious car with the. I just don't know if it's going to look exactly like this. Sometimes these concept cars, they come out way different, but
right.
if it comes out with these type of, grill and headlight combination, I think it's going to look stunning. It's going to look different,
Hell yeah, yeah, for sure. I mean, in comparison to the 2016 I have, this looks wow.
Yeah.
Just wow.
Yeah, and that's only in 5-6 years of a difference.
Yeah.
Right. Well, there's a lot of other cars that are coming out, and they're going to be interesting in the market. But I'm not going to discuss them because I don't want to go too much into this podcast. We're already at around 30 something minutes here. But there's the Infiniti QX55, the QX60. Then there's the new Jeep Grand Wagoneer and just a Wagoneer. They're also going to be released. There's other cars that just came out, like the new Sienna, the new Venza, the Toyota Mirai, which I might do a separate podcast on because that's a hydrogen fuel cell car. But some of these, they're practical, and some people already know about them, and I feel like I really wanted to focus some of these cars that are a little bit more exciting than the other ones that I listed here. So some trends you see are more. There are more electric vehicles. They're focusing more on design. They all are starting to incorporate similar trends. Like there's like a light bar for brake lights. There's a screen in the gauge cluster. Buttons for transmission gear selectors, and it keeps going on and on and on. There's these manufacturers are starting to really bring up their game, and I think it's going to be not just for 2021, but the next few years, the next half a decade. It's going to be pretty good for the car world. It's just going to be interesting on what they come out with.
Yeah, I'm excited to see like the different types of. It's going towards this more of a futuristic. I feel look, and I feel like the consumers are gonna be happy with what they see, and especially working towards that electric models, so trying to be environmentally friendly. That's a good aspect of it.
Mm-hmm. Well, I usually like to end with a question to the listeners. So, listeners, my question to you is, what is your favorite car feature? I want to know what your favorite car feature is. Airbags, steering wheel. No, I'm like cruise control, blind spot monitoring system, heated seats. You tell me automatic high beams. What is it? Heated steering wheel.
Mm-hmm.
I want to hear it. Thank you everyone for listening. Look forward to next time. Thank you.
Thank you.